And the big news in the NHL from Sunday, as first reported by our own Darren Dreger, the Flames traded defenseman Rasmus Andersson to the Golden Knights in exchange for Zach Whitecloud, University of North Dakota defenseman Abram Wiebe, a 2027 first-round pick, and a 2028 conditional second-rounder that becomes a first-rounder if the Las Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup this year. Here is Craig Button, our NHL analyst, to break this one down. Craig, we have known for a long time that Rasmus Andersson would be traded. We know that the Flames and the player preferred for it to get done before the Olympic roster freeze. We also know that Boston was heavily in the mix. But in the end, Craig Conroy decides he likes the offer from Kelly McCrimmon better. First of all, what did you think of the package the Flames got in exchange for Rasmus Andersson?
Well, first of all, they're getting a really good, solid defensive defenseman in Zach Whitecloud with contract term left. So again, the Flames are in a spot where they don't want to throw the young players to the wolves. They want to make sure that those young players have insulation. And this is just another step in where they're trying to get their team to. They got a lot of good young prospects. They got some young players playing on their team. They got some young players with the Wranglers. And this is just now part and parcel of the process. You know, you look at a player like Adam Wiebe, I mean, this is a player that just continues to develop. So you take a chance on a prospect. First round draft pick in the 27 draft, second rounder that could be a first rounder. You're trying to accumulate these types of assets with respect to the draft picks. Get a prospect. Certainly you now get a player in Zach Whitecloud that can come in and help you. I think that's significant for where the Flames find themselves.
Craig, of course, everyone's saying Vegas once again, they get it done. Kelly McCrimmon strikes again. He gets the guy he wants, number 2 on our trade bait board. And we know Andersson wanted to go there. And we know Vegas is comfortable making the deal despite the fact they hadn't even agreed to an extension with Rasmus Andersson. So despite the fact that they haven't done that, go ahead, Craig. Craig, you want to take a drink of water? Do you have any water with you?
No, I'm good. I just had to sneeze. I was trying to stifle a sneeze.
That's totally good.
And I couldn't have. So I went with the silent sneeze.
Okay. All right. So you're good now. You can tell us what you think of this deal for the Vegas Golden Knights.
It's a fantastic deal for the Vegas Golden Knights. You lose Alex Pietrangelo. And so now you're trying to fit some different players into different spots. And Rasmus Andersson is the perfect fit. He gets to play with Hanifin. You get to make sure that McNabb and Theodore play together. I know this. If you're serious about winning the Stanley Cup, you're not going to do it by elevating players beyond what they're capable of doing. That was what was happening in Vegas. Zach Whitecloud, Jeremy Loza, Caden Korzak. They're not capable of playing those big, heavy minutes. Now they have a top 4 that's really significant. And Rasmus Andersson gives them that type of play that Alex Pietrangelo gave them. Really good power play, good shot, can be a threat. Good heavy player, can play the physical part of the game, can play the heavy minutes. He's durable in that respect. So if you're serious about competing for the Stanley Cup, and the Vegas Golden Knights are, this is a fantastic acquisition. And we all know that the Vegas Golden Knights are about what can they do right now to give themselves the best chance to compete for the Stanley Cup. They just went and did it. And now you're trying to not only create some separation from some of the teams chasing you, you're trying to get closer to the Colorado Avalanche, because the Colorado Avalanche are the class of the Western Conference. Well, now with Rasmus Andersson, I'm not so sure that the Vegas Golden Knights are anybody's second. I think they're second and closing the gap on the Colorado Avalanche.
And don't forget, the Calgary Flames still have 2 more players in our top 10 trade bait board list. That would be Nazem Kadri and Blake Coleman, though the jury's out on how desperate those 2 are to leave Calgary. They seem to love it there. We will see. Craig Button, gesundheit, my friend.